Have you ever come home from a perfectly normal conversation and felt like someone quietly unscrewed the lid of your energy and poured it down a drain? No drama, no fight, no obvious reason, and yet your bones vibrate with emptiness. You sit on the edge of your bed and stare at nothing, like your soul is buffering. Why does this happen? Why do some rooms, some friendly faces, leave you oddly hollow? It's easy to say, I'm just an introvert, or people are exhausting. But that's too thin a story. There's something else happening beneath the surface. Your psyche isn't broken, it's speaking. And if you can hear it, you can stop bleeding energy where you don't have to. According to Jung, what we call energy is not a battery we charge with coffee. It's the movement of our life in a direction toward what matters, away from what harms, into what wants to emerge from the depths. He called this energy libido, not just sexual drive, but the living stream of interest, meaning, and desire. When it flows in alignment with the self, we feel vivid. When it flows against itself, we feel tired in a way no nap can repair. So, why do people, ordinary people, drain you? Let's start with something you know but rarely name. Picture this. You're at a gathering. You're trying to be your best self. Polite, warm, interesting. You laugh at jokes you barely hear. You nod a lot. You mold your tone, your face, your posture, until they feel like a rented costume. You can sense a version of you that plays well in the room. It's not a lie. It's your persona, the social mask we all wear to meet the world. Jung said the persona is necessary, like a sturdy coat in bad weather. But keep it on too long, and you forget the skin underneath. Energy drains when the mask hardens, when your social performance squeezes the living thing inside it. The exhaustion you feel after a nice time can be the bill your persona sends yourself for holding the pose. Can you feel that? The quiet ache of being almost you, but not quite? Here's the turn. The mask isn't the enemy. It's just expensive. Every time you perform the expected you withdraw from your deeper you. That doesn't mean stop trying. It means notice what your mask is paying out on your behalf. Who did you protect? What did you avoid? How long did you hold a smile that belongs to no one? Awareness alone reduces the leak. Now, another layer. You've heard of introverts and extroverts. Jung gave those words a meaning beyond party jokes. Introversion and extroversion aren't about shyness or loudness. They're about where your attention naturally goes, inward toward the depths, or outward toward the world. If you're introverted by attitude, crowds can feel like 1,000 little hands tugging your attention. If you're extroverted, silence can feel like water with no shore. But here's the trap. Most of us are not purely one thing. We live in a culture that rewards extroversion. Be seen, speak up, network, go, go, go. So the introverted half of you never gets to breathe. You can be extroverted at work, competent and visible, and yet your psyche is starving for inwardness. Your exhaustion after social time might not be about people at all. It might be a backlog of unvisited rooms in your own house. Jung described a law of psychic balance called compensation. What the outer life exaggerates, the inner life balances. If your days are all outflow, speaking, smiling, planning, responding, the night compensates. Silence, emptiness, fog. The psyche pulls the plug to refill the reservoir. Not to punish you, but to keep you alive. Let's take a breath. Think of a recent time you walked away from someone and felt hollow. What did you spend? Mask, attention, approval, care? Or did something more subtle happen? Did you touch a tiny wound you didn't know you had? Jung would ask us to look for the shadow, the parts of us we don't enjoy seeing. Not just vices, but also neglected strengths. Sometimes people drain us because they borrow our generosity while we deny our need to receive. Sometimes we offer our listening while silencing our own voice. Sometimes we're so trained to be easy to be around that we become a soft chair for everyone and forget we have a spine. Energy leaks wherever you deny a living truth. You can be warm and still keep your edges. You can be kind and still say, "Not today." When you can't, the shadow takes its payment in fatigue. It says, "If you won't say no with your mouth, I will say no with your marrow." Notice how often this pattern visits your life. The friend who always unloads at 11 p.m., the co-worker who praises you to get your time, the family member who expects comfort for free. You might even be doing the same to others without knowing it, pushing your loneliness into their lap and calling it closeness. None of this makes you bad. It makes you human. But it does make you tired. There's another hidden engine behind social exhaustion: complexes. In Jung's view, a complex is a knot of emotion, memory, and meaning that forms around a wound or need. When a complex is hooked, it drinks energy like a thirsty root. You can walk into a room and meet not a person, but a hook. Imagine you carry a father complex, never quite good enough, always slightly too small. You meet someone with the same tone, the same cool appraisal. Suddenly, without choosing, you are performing for a ghost, over-explaining, overachieving, over-giving. 40 minutes pass, you leave and feel carved out. But it wasn't the person. It was the knot. How do you unhook? You name it. "Oh, this is my prove I belong complex. I see you." The moment you see it, it shrinks. You shift from being possessed by a complex to being in relationship with it. You can still have the conversation, but the invisible straw is gone. People also drain us when they mirror our unloved parts. You feel irrationally irritated by someone's arrogance because your own healthy pride is buried. You feel bored by someone's softness because your tenderness lives under a lock. The psyche keeps trying to return you to yourself. Each irritation is a mirror. Each mirror costs energy until you turn, look, and reclaim the face. Let's go further down. Jung believed that beneath the persona and the complexes and the shadow lives the self, a center and a circumference, larger than your conscious identity, guiding you toward wholeness. Social life exhausts us when it opposes the self's movement. This isn't mysticism for its own sake. It's felt. You know those rare conversations where time opens, where you speak one true sentence and the room exhale changes color? You leave those meetings brighter. That's your energy flowing with the self. That's you plugged into the river. So how do we move from unconscious leaking to conscious living? Start small and sacred. Before you enter a draining room, ask yourself 3 questions. What do I actually want here? What do I refuse to give away? What is one true thing I can say? That one true thing rule can save your evening. Maybe your truth is simple. "I'm a little tired tonight." Maybe it's deeper. "I love you, but I can't solve this for you." One true thing is a lighthouse. It orients your energy. It keeps your persona honest and your shadow calm. Create a container. Jung loved the alchemical symbol of the vessel, the sealed glass where transformation happens safely. Make a social vessel, a time boundary, a topic boundary, a body boundary. "I can stay for an hour. Let's talk about what you need most." "I need a little space while we walk." Containers don't kill intimacy, they keep it alive. Build an energy budget the way you might budget money. List what fills you and what empties you, not theoretically, in your actual body. You might find that 3 deep conversations fill you more than 30 shallow ones. You might discover that you love groups. As long as you arrive 10 minutes early and leave 20 minutes before the crescendo. Small edges, big difference. If you feel crushed after every social moment, you aren't defective, you're unbalanced. Ask which part of you isn't being fed. The inner artist? The child who plays without purpose? The thinker who wants to name the pattern? Give that part an appointment on your calendar. Your psyche will stop pulling the plug, If you stop ignoring the soul it's trying to protect, and pay attention to the functions you use. Jung mapped 4 ways the psyche orients to the world: thinking, feeling, sensation, intuition. Everyone uses all 4, but 1 or 2 lead. One is usually inferior, easily exhausted. If your day spends your inferior function, say endless small talk for a thinking type or spreadsheets for a feeling type, you'll leave social time wiped. It's not the people, it's the function. Balance the day. If you've been operating from your inferior function, do something afterward that feeds your superior one. 10 minutes can release the knot. Here's a practical ritual you can try tonight. Before a gathering, step into a quiet room, even a bathroom. Place your hand on your chest. Ask softly, "Who am I bringing into this room?" Wait. A word will rise: listener, teacher, friend, explorer. Choose one. That's your archetype for the evening. It gives your persona a soul-backed purpose. It reduces the random leaking that comes from trying to be everyone. When you leave, perform a small closing. Wash your hands slowly, like you're washing the invisible threads of the evening. Whisper thanks. To the room, to the people, to yourself. Name 1 sentence you said that was true. Name 1 you wish you had said. That's tomorrow's practice. If you find yourself playing therapist to the world, honor the healer archetype in you, but don't let it run the whole house. The healer needs a boundary with the wounded one, both in others and in yourself. You can care without curing. You can empathize without absorbing. Try this line: I care so much, and I don't have the capacity to hold this right now. Can we find another way? Notice the relief on both sides when truth is spoken. Sometimes the most draining person in the room is the critic in your own head. The one that checks your words for errors as they leave your mouth. The one that reviews your laugh like a security camera after the party. That critic is a complex too, often born to protect you from shame. Thank it. Then ask it to sit by the door and watch, not interrupt. Give it a job. It relaxes when it belongs. And yes, there are people whose presence devours your light. Not because they are monsters, but because their habitats are storms. With them, practice 2 feet and 1 breath. 2 feet, the knowledge that you can walk away. 1 breath, a long exhale that reminds your body you are safe even if they are not. Safety is energy. Choice is energy. Here's something strange and hopeful. You can be in a noisy room and get more energy. You can be in silence and feel drained. The measure isn't noise, it's meaning. Jung would say, the psyche wants wholeness. It wants you with you. Wherever a conversation helps you come home to yourself, energy returns. Wherever it demands that you leave yourself at the door, energy goes dark. I want to invite you to test this in miniature. Tomorrow, speak 1 true sentence earlier than you normally would. If you usually nod, ask 1 real question instead. If you usually fix, say, tell me what you need and what you can do. If you usually disappear, let your eyes be seen for 3 seconds longer. Watch how your body responds. Tiny truths return surprising power. Pay attention to synchronicities around this work, the meaningful coincidences that Jung loved. When you begin honoring your edges, you'll notice the right people arrive when you stop fighting to be everywhere. The conversation you needed opens when you stop forcing the one that drains you. Meaning collects meaning. Energy returns to its river. And if you feel guilty for protecting your energy, remember this: boundaries are not walls against love. They are doors through which love enters without trampling the house. A soul without doors gets looted. A soul with doors gets visited. One more thing before we go deeper. If this resonates, if you've felt yourself pour out in rooms that didn't pour back, what's one small way you honor your energy this week? Share it below. Your comment might name someone else's unspoken pattern. And if you want more of these Jung-informed guides, subscribe and stay with us. We're building a place where your inner life is not an afterthought. Let's explore a subtle leak, the mismatch of rhythms. Your inner tempo may be slow, another's may be quick. When tempos clash, fatigue follows. You don't have to match, you can name it warmly. I'm slow today, but I'm with you. The moment you name it, your nervous system stops sprinting to keep up. It's astonishing how much energy returns when you stop pretending to be fast. There's also the hunger that we mistake for connection, the unspoken bargain of approval. Do you feel energized when someone praises you and hollow after? Jung would warn that praise can inflate the persona. Inflation always ends in deflation. Better to anchor in a value before you enter the room. I choose honesty over impressing. I choose presence over performance. Value is ballast. Praise becomes a breeze, not a hurricane. Practice this tiny pivot in real time. When someone compliments you, instead of vanishing or over-explaining, try, "Thank you. That means something to me because," and connect it to your value. Or, if the praise feels manipulative, hold your ground. "I appreciate the kind words. I can't commit to that today." Feel the strength in your spine, a quiet line from the self. What about the days when you don't have a choice? The meeting you can't skip, the family event you must attend. Then you lean on ritual and symbol. Carry a small object in your pocket, something that represents your center, a smooth stone, a ring, a folded note. When you feel the drain begin, touch it. It's a tether, a reminder that you are not the room. If you are someone who shuts down in groups, try this gentle experiment. Set a tiny threshold for contribution. One sentence every 15 minutes, one honest question per hour. Not to perform, to be present. Your system learns safety through small, repeatable acts. Each time you cross the threshold, your persona becomes a bridge instead of armor. If you're someone who dominates to avoid discomfort, make room for the opposite. Ask, "What did I miss?" Then be silent long enough to let an answer form. You will feel energy rise when the field balances. The psyche loves proportion. Let's talk about social media for one moment, because it's a room too. Scroll rooms are all persona, almost no self. Masks greeting masks. The leak from those rooms comes from comparing your rawness to their polish. Jung's medicine here is again the one true thing. Post one honest sentence, or post nothing and write that sentence in your journal. The self doesn't need witnesses to be real, but it responds to truth like a plant to sun. And perhaps the most misunderstood piece, being drained is not always a sign to leave. Sometimes it's a sign to stay and become more real. Ask yourself, am I exhausted because this isn't mine, or because I'm hiding? If it isn't yours, walk. If you're hiding, uncover 1 inch. Energy returns in the exact measure of truth you allow. When a relationship consistently drains you, try mapping the dynamic as archetypes. Are you the parent and they the child, the hero and they the damsel, the savior and they the lost? Archetypes are beautiful, but they can trap us in myth loops. Name the loop. Invite a new pairing. 2 adults. I love you, and I'd like to meet you as an equal. If the story can't change, you will, by choosing where your energy goes. Jung spoke often of individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are. Social life isn't a detour from that journey. It's part of the path. People don't just drain us, they shape us. The irritating friend teaches you about your unclaimed courage. The too loud room teaches you about your right to quiet. The too quiet room teaches you about your right to speak. Every room is a mirror if you dare to look. So here's a practice to end with, simple and strong. Before you meet the world, close your eyes and imagine a circle around you. Not a wall, a living ring. On the inside, place 3 words that describe how you want to be today. Calm, clear, kind. On the outside, place 3 things you will not carry: other people's mood, the need to impress, the fear of being seen. Step into your day wearing that invisible ring. When you feel the leak start, touch the ring with your attention and breathe. If you do this daily for a week, you'll notice something. It's not that people stop being people. It's that the river of your energy begins to recognize its banks. You'll still give. You'll still love. But you won't empty yourself to prove you are worthy of belonging. You will belong to yourself first, and from there, to others more honestly. And if you still return home some nights hollow, let that be a prayer. Sit in the quiet and say, "Something in me gave too much. Something in me wants to be heard." Then listen. The self is patient. It gathers what we spill and brings it back in dreams, in sudden insights, in the calm that comes when you speak your one true thing. People won't stop needing you. Rooms won't stop buzzing. But you can stop making your soul pay the price of your persona. You can choose truth over performance, boundaries over resentment, presence over proving. Jung would smile at that. Not because it makes you perfect, but because it makes you real. And reality, truly lived, doesn't drain. It dawns. Tonight, when you wash your face, imagine you're washing off the masks. Thank them for their service. Place them gently on a shelf. Then look at your bare face, your unperformed eyes, and greet yourself by name. There you are, the one who never leaves the room. The one who knows where the river flows.